Hello. Welcome to another scene in Changeling, the fucking or the gooning. Probably the gooning with some ducks and some geese and everything. It's gonna be great. So this scene will start out tonight. Lovely, wonderful, perfect. As all of the players, lay their little heads down and go to sleep wherever they are at whatever time they do, because I'm sure some of the characters are like, I gotta have a wonderful, like, perfectly set sleep schedule, and they go to bed at like fucking 8 or something. And then there's others who are more in tune to me and go to sleep at all various stages of the night, anywhere between 6 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 hours before I have to get up and go to work. Who knows? It's a lovely time. But today, when they all lay their heads down and they are all sleeping very peacefully, doing their own little thing, and the sun comes up and it's quite lovely and wonderful, and you wake up to bird song, which is just so wonderful. The little chirp chirp. If I had my lights on right now, my birds would probably be willing to give that song. And of course, my birds actually can't sing. They can screech, though, but it's close enough. I give Ikiro props. He tries his hardest. He can't fucking do it, though, but he's trying. Bless his little asshole cockatiel heart. And yeah, there's just a lot of bird song. And I'm not talking, about from, geese, from a bird that really shouldn't be able to hiss. Fun fact, cockatiels also hiss. It's very fucking creepy when you just like crack open an eye and all you hear is in your face at like 6 o'clock in the morning. It is what it is, though. You gotta do what you gotta do to deal with these little fluffy assholes. So it's nice, it's lovely. And it sounds like there's a lot of birds. Just a whole bunch of little chirp 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 chirp. Some are whistling, all over the place. And everyone slowly begins to open their eyes as they feel this nice warmth of the sun on their face. You don't really know how the fuck it's happening, considering you went to sleep in Ireland and it's like the sun is like non-existent. But, it's trying its hardest right now. And you can feel the sun warming your faces up, and you all, stretch, open your eyes, do whatever you do in the morning. You could be also like me and just like grab the covers and whip them back over your head and roll over. Wait till your secondary alarm kicks in. It's up to you. Who the fuck knows what goes on? And, you all just kind of sit up and you're like, fuck, this ain't my bed. You have your blanket. You have your pillow. You have any sort of snuggable creatures that you go to sleep with, teddy bears, or, body pillows, or, whatever. Ain't here to judge. Not here to judge. And you're just kind of like, wow. Like, this is, like, the fuck is going on? Because you look around and you see tall trees. I'm talking like those giant ass sequoias over there in, like, what is it, like California, I think, where they have like the trees that are like fucking gigantic and like you can't, yeah, those. You just see tons and tons of those and you're like, how the fuck is that here? This is Ireland. And you see birds, massive birds of all shapes and sizes in the aviary kingdom, except for penguins. Penguins are not to be found in this location of this lovely little place that you are on. You see gigantic cockatoos, and cockatoos are already some pretty big birds compared to like your parrotlets and your parakeets. Here, they are, yeah, Rides thought he was like tough shit and like really tall and shit. This cockatoo, oh, bruh, this cockatoo is like 1.5 times taller than Rides. And it's just like screeching at the top of its lungs. There are cockatiels that reach up to about your knee, which is very scary because cockatiels are fucking vicious. You see parrotlets, which are about the size of your hand, parakeets, macaws, hawks, owls, and then it begins as you hear the quacks from behind. And you slowly turn your head, for everyone has that primal fear of ducks and geese and swans, and you slowly turn your head, and there's an endless sea of what looks to be I meant to say expanse, an endless expanse instead of sea. But yeah, you just turn around and there's a big ass sea with some ducks and some geese and some swans. And these fuckers are big enough to be ridden. And they look angry, except for the ducks. The ducks are a little smaller. The ducks are actually a lot smaller, because ducks usually, they don't get to the size of like swans and geese and shit. They still look pretty fearsome, because I mean, they're just gigantic ducks. You know that saying where scientists theorize if there was more oxygen in the air and less nitrogen and stuff, everything would grow much larger? It's kind of looks what happened here, because everything is bigger, except for you guys. You guys about the same size. The air smells like really clean and nice, though. And the ducks just look at you guys, and they kind of like swim over, because ducks are like, oh, you know, ooh, people. And some of the birds do start to just kind of crowd around you guys. It looks kind of threatening if you're still laying down. And then you just kind of like open your eyes, and there's like 50 bazillion fucking different bird heads just looking down at you. But it is what it is. So far, they don't seem threatening. But the geese and the swans haven't come closer yet. Nor have the cockatoos. And the cockatoos are crazy. There you go. Do what you need to do. I am done.
So, Rides, he likes his bedtime, his cuddle time. He likes to feel the air along his body, which, aka, he sleeps naked. So, waking up, surrounded by birds and menacing geese off in the distance, he opens his big, emerald green eyes and looks around. Takes a second to process. Kind of goes, oh, yeah, no, it's a dream. And then his eyes shoot open and he surges out of the bed, standing before the horde of birds, like everything out on display, like, Bambi! Scream.
Bambi proceeds to go and tumble out of the bed.
Are we all together in what would be our beds?
No, there's actually not a bed. You guys are all just kind of like laying on the ground, which is this kind of sandy, rocky area with a blanket and a pillow and whatever kind of cuddle you have.
If I cannot tumble off of his bed, I will just tumble off of Rides. Still works.
Ooh.
Karina just kind of like looks up, because her head was kind of just buried in Wakanda's fur. Just kind of looks around, and she kind of looks left, looks right, sees. Is the dough show happening, Katie?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, Ride is like standing bolt upright, buck ass naked. Bambi is still on the ground, but is probably naked, all things considered.
Karina has at least she has a tank top and some short shorts on.
Go you.
She just kind of looks.
Sorry.
Yeah, my dude.
You're good. You just broke up a little.
Okay. She just kind of just says, either I am in Valhalla or I am going to be going there soon.
What about Seal Bay? Oh, God.
And in addition to the whole party with clothes on, well, that's definitely what she's doing, because, hey, this lady got a little bit of respect compared to some. But anyway, Aelin, it's not woken up by the birds or the thing. No, what wakes her up first is the one we all know truly love. As bounding around, kind of shocked more than anything, panicked, almost crying to his master's feet. My lady, they have been upon us, and I did not see them vanquish your own foes. As he disappears under the obvious seal cloak, that Aileen kind of just picks up her head, the hair sticking up on end one little bit, and a full bed head and everything. He just disappears underneath it. She just looks around like full drowy eyes, like, what the fuck?
All right, everyone, on your feet. I've dreamt of moments like this. So everyone, he just suddenly starts throwing on clothes. It's like he's been ready for this for his whole life.
What clothes?
I don't know. He just looks around. It's like, picks up something, wraps the fucking blanket around his waist like a kilt.
The cockatiels. One of them will kind of waddle over, and they're about knee height. We'll just waddle, waddle, waddle. Look up the rides. Look at the blanket. Look at the rides. Look at the blanket. And they'll do. Have you seen videos where people will like put a piece of food in front of like their bird's mouth, and they'll like open their beak, and like their little tongue will stick out, and it's like as they try to get it. That's what the cockatiel's doing. It's going for the blanket because it's like, bro, is this fucking food? Bruh.
Karina's gonna get right the fuck out of the way of that because his dick's in that blanket.
Realizes that the true lightning is in there, so he just unleashes like, here, take it. He just backs away.
Nope. Wait, so you just threw the blanket at the bird?
Yeah, pretty much.
So the bird, bless
Please
their hearts,
say it, like, goes
cockatiels
over its head.
yeah, no, cockatiels are not that bright. So there were a couple of them standing there along with like parrotlets and parakeets and a couple green cheek conures, and the blanket just kind of covers them, and you just see like the little lumps. It's like when you put your blanket over your dog or your cat, and they just start like trying to find the way out, and that's what you just could just hear is like birds screeching from underneath the blanket as they're all trying to find the way out.
Screeching and bobbling.
Yes.
Turns and looking at everybody. It says in the most dramatic voice, "I bought a diversion. Let's get out of here." Do you know what I mean?
What?
Oh, hi.
Oh my!
Hold on there.
Shields her eyes. Hello.
Hello there.
You might want to fix your top, lady.
Right. Yes.
Hands
Fix
on
it.
hips.
Is it?
Go where? Looking at rides. Like how?
I don't know. Go somewhere.
Why are there birds everywhere?
I don't know.
Why are you the only seal in a sea of birds?
Blink.
She honestly asked that. There's no salt there.
She just kind of looks around. It's like, oh, I am. Oh God, what's happening?
I don't know.
She doesn't say that. It's just the look on her face of internally just like processing. Alien.exe has stopped working.
Actually, Karina's gonna ask, "What is your name?" Just in case you fall and go to Valhalla, I want to remember your name.
Oh, sweet.
She clicks back, looking at Karina. I'm Lady Aelin. And yourself?
Eyeballing the nearest duck. Sorry,
Yeah,
go
she'll-
ahead.
This is all good. She'll respond. My name is Karina Stormfury.
She nods. It's been a pleasure to meet you under certain circumstances. I still don't get the birds.
I still don't understand that either. I'm kind of going with this as I go along.
There's
don't-
a screech.
Just looking around like, I don't even know where we should go.
Actually, Hold on, I have an idea. Do any of these birds look interested in us, Kim?
Yes, like a lot. Like that's why they were kind of like crowding around you guys because they were like, who the whoops the fuck in our place?
Can I use my house bone?
Yes, you can use your house spoon.
Sorry?
So as you guys are just kind of standing around, one of the what the shit?
Oh, my bad. Did you not hear me?
No, I heard you. I said it was
Okay, my
fine.
bad.
Did you not hear when I said it was fine?
No, I actually didn't. It lagged.
Oh shit. I did. It was fine. Yeah, nah, it's all good. You can go ahead to use your house spoon. One of the cockatiels, not the cockatiels, the cockatoos, will walk up to you guys, just kind of look at you guys, and their little crown will go up. It's an umbrella cockatoo, and their little crown will go up, and they'll just kind of look. Now, the cockatoos are about 13 or so feet tall currently. And so they look kind of horrifying, but kind of stupid at the same time, because cockatoos just look really stupid. And it will waddle over to Bambi and try to sit on Bambi.
What?
So, the best way I can describe it is... Oh, I think I actually have a picture that would work too if I can find it. So Bambi is just kind of probably standing there. And then, Bambi is just doing her own thing. She's like, okay, cool, whatever. It's all good. And then this little cloud of puffy white feathers kind of slowly envelops around her.
Wait! Bird person!
Oh god, this is perfect.
It'll just kind of stop. Look.
And it looks mortified. Deer in headlights.
It's not bad. They're being really nice. And, like, their feathers are cuddly and soft.
Is it literally like nesting on her? Is that what's happening?
It hasn't, like, sat down. It's just kind of... Okay. So, like, she was standing up, and it just kind of, like, walked forward, so its, like, chest is kind of pressed into her, and there's, like, feathers kind of wrapped around her. Yeah. The floof.
But yeah, Karina has called to the... I forgot what bird this was, but she called it a bird person. Cockatoo. She called it a bird person.
It'll kind of stop, look over, tilt its head a little bit, and go, "Rah."
Oh, no, she can understand him.
Oh, that's exactly the noise it makes. It's just kind of like, it's their noise of surprise.
Oh, okay. She'll ask, where are we?
Why are you here?
We don't know. We woke up here.
I like
we
this
informed-
one.
I do too. I find her very, yes, all of that. Anyway.
So, can she like slowly reach over, like just tug the wing down, give herself a privacy curtain, like?
Yeah,
If it means anything, Karina's basically like, I did declare it earlier, like Karina's basically like shielded like Pepper from her vision.
Yeah, it's like she just like pulls the little wing over.
Like
It's like
I think she'd
it's
still
safe
be
to look.
subconscious about it. But yeah.
Just like because if nothing else, Karina's like shielding her face, looking away, and not like looking directly at the thing she's talking to. So it's like pulls it over. It's okay. You can look. Like just stop that.
Stop what?
You can. It's okay. You can look.
Okay. Looks. She's mostly looking at the bird now. And she'll say, "We don't know how we ended up here. But I feel as if we are not supposed to be here."
No. You guys are not us. You do not belong.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's quite unsettling. How do we leave?
I don't know. I've never wanted to.
All right. Do you know of anyone that would know?
There's the king.
Excellent. You have a king. How do we meet this king?
Not really a king per se. They're just the tall one, and we're all just kind of like, "Hello, tall one," and we do what we must.
Wait. Society is predicated upon how tall you are.
No.
All right.
Do not know what that word means anyway. It's okay though. You are tiny.
Society?
Adorable.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure the way they work is
The way they work is what? Oh, he might
Done.
like real good.
so. How do we meet your alpha, your person in charge, your leader of the flock? Do not know. By the way, Karina's translating.
It just makes this kind of like screech noise as it's just kind of like, and then it'll go. I suppose we could take you to them. But what would we get in return? Do you have any seeds?
Not on me, but I know of small people my size that are quite tasty.
Why would you do this?
Let's think about Ulster, guys.
If she's still running translation, Bambi's going to very tentatively, because she's still like right against this bird chest. She is surrounded in puff. Just tentatively turn around and reach up and start like gingerly, like careful not to unsettle the feathers, but like slide the fingers up under them and start like scritching.
The bird is pleased. Here, let me throw up a picture of a cockatoo real fast.
Actually, fuck it. If the cockatoo looks pleased at that, she'll say, "What about if we give abundant amounts of scritches?"
You cannot bribe us with scritches.
Have you felt my scritches?
And you have not felt me.
Challenge accepted. What do you want me to roll to scritch this fucking ass? Dex Animalkin?
Oh, yeah. Roll beautiful. Scratch the cockatoo. Just go ahead.
Apply to this.
I'm not even fucking worried about it. Yeah.
Apply everything.
I'm not even gonna try. And this is the bird you're currently talking to, except it's much bigger, and it does not have a band around its foot.
She's
Like
got,
13-foot tall, one of those.
Yes.
depending on the diff, it's between 1 and 3 successes.
The diff will be like, I don't know, fucking 4 or whatever. Shit. But it'll just kind of stand there. It's like,
Bambi slides her other hand up under the feathers, continues the assist, tries to reach up as close as she can to like that jawline. They always love the jawline.
It will lower its head, so it can be scratched.
Whatever side Bambi gets, Karina will get the other side.
Yes. Teamwork.
The cockatoo seems very pleased. And of course, because birds are also very jealous creatures,
Oh no.
Oh,
very,
shit.
very jealous creatures. The other birds will begin to slowly flock. There was a very large, colorful military macaw that's only about it's about well, cockatoos and military macaws are about the same size, if not a little bigger. So yeah, there's about a 12-foot gigantic, colorful fucking rainbow bird that walks up over to Rides and is just looking at him very expectantly. Meanwhile, the lovely seal has about 4 cockatiels, all with their heads kind of bowed because cockatiels are fucking hilarious. If they really want scritches, they will walk up to a person and just kind of bow their head, and it's like, give me scritches on my head now. And so there's like 4 of them, just kind of in a circle around the lady, just like head bowed, like scritches.
And as, for lack of a better term, these birds present themselves, Aelin will just whisper down to her faithful companion, her valiant knight. What the fuck is going on?
I have no idea, but if you want to live, you will pet these cockatiels. The lobster to do so.
Rides up beside this thing, scratching it with chest hair on hand as well. It's getting
She
all fucking
enlists the aid of Sir Cobblespatch to switch the fuck out of these cockatiels. So confused.
If there's another one standing by, Bambi will let Karina take over on the cockatoo and put a set of hands on another bird, just because, oh god, so many burps.
So many. And more are coming. And, you know, there's the pleasant little silence of, you know, bird feathers being scritched. And then you hear the little hilarious sound of wet little duck feet waddling as the march of the ducks towards you guys has begun. And unfortunately, that also means the march of the geese and swans have begun.
Oh shit, they're attacking, aren't they?
Oh my.
Right. Battle formations, everybody.
What?
It's swans, man. They're killers. Whispers over as he's rubbing up and down this fucking thing.
I don't want to get eaten by a swan.
Have you ever fought a swan? It's not a nice experience. They peck.
Oh,
Honestly, the geese are a lot worse. They're a lot more aggressive.
I just run when they hiss.
We
We're
have
saving
no.
at least one of those ducks, alright?
There is no running option. We stand and fight.
We stand.
Bambi proceeds to promptly hide behind Rides. Especially if the birds fuck off. This is my battle formation, shut up.
So the ducks waddle up, and ducks are fucking adorable. They're just like giant orbs. They'll just waddle up, and it's like they will actually sit kind of like on everyone's feet except for Bambi, because Bambi has no feet. Bambi has hooves.
He has hoofuses.
And so they look very sad because they do not have feet. So instead they all just kind of crowd around her hooves. But the ducks also sit on everyone else's feet. And you know, it's fun and it's fine. And the cockatoo's like, yeah, maybe we could take you to our, to the big one, to our boss, buddy. And then there is this ungodly as the geese and the swans start marching ever closer.
Bambi goes under.
I
A
have this
duckling.
fucking image of fucking Nazgul from Lord of the Rings coming as the geese are advancing. So
Yes. Yes.
Nope. Bambi is now under a duckwing. These ducks are enormous. She's just like, nope.
Yeah,
She pays for safe harbor with scritches. It's fine.
yeah. The cockatoo will allow her to just kind of hide under its wing. It's just like, okay,
That works.
you were small, and I am tall.
Karina's gonna ask the cockatoo one thing right quick. She'll point out to the charging swan and the geese. She's going to ask, if they attack us, we have the right to defend ourselves, yes?
You could just ask them not to.
Karina's gonna, you know what? Karina's not gonna question that. If these ducks and geese are looking like they're ready to come for that ass, Karina will look over and she'll ask, we are not here to fight. Fight is the last thing that we want. All that we would like is to be back in our home, in our nest. That way we may sleep restfully.
And you just hear. Katie, you're so fucking right, though. You just hear in unison from all of the geese and all of the swans. I'm not gonna scream this because I'm not. But they all just pretty much say in this loud kind of. So in like battle scenes in the movies, you know, they're all screaming attack, and you just hear like from like everybody and their grandma during them battle scenes, because it's like morale boost. Apparently, we're just gonna scream. Don't fucking know why. That's what the geese do. They just go, and it's pretty much like attack, and it's hilarious because they're just waddling. They're just angrily waddling forward.
Karina looks to Wakanda and says one thing. I need you to do me a favor, my old and good friend. The first one you kill, I would like their corpse. I require a weapon.
picks up one of the ducks, puts it on his shoulder, and gets ready.
Actually, are the ducks willing to be used as weapons?
What are you guys gonna do? Throw the fucking ducks?
Because
I don't know. Throw a duck at him.
I have an idea for one of the geese. I'm not gonna lie. I'll just tell you. Do you want me to just tell you what my plan is, Kim?
Just this. Just all of this. Right
See
now.
that?
Because I'm not gonna lie. The first one Wakanda kills, Karina was going to just tear it open, break off one of its fucking ribs, and use that as a weapon.
I'm
So
I was
vicious.
going to rally the. I was going to rally the ducks together. I was going to rally the ducks together to form the Duck Alliance of men and geese to take men and cockatoos to take down the geese. That's what I was planning to do.
That's also a good idea.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, whatever. We're not. I don't feel like rolling. I'm not gonna make you roll to beat up a bunch of fucking geese, because the thing, the thing with birds is that they, have very hollow bones, and they are just very fragile, like so very fragile. It's not even funny.
Karina may or may not
Right.
eat during combat.
I'm just saying,
Ri-
have you ever been smacked by a really angry goose wing? That shit hurts.
Rides will get Karina to translate as he gives the speech to his people, as he will, announce the alliance of cockatoos and ducks against the evil overlords of the geese and swans, and he'll stand there proudly amongst the assembled group, naked as the day's sun, and he was naked as the day's sun.
She will actually translate this, by the way.
Why are
Okay,
we like
but-
this?
I'm gonna say this with a straight face. This is gonna be really tough. Because hang on. My fellow warriors, Today is a day where we fight and we die. And it's today going to be the day that you let them push you around and hiss at you in their flocks. That's not today. I ask you to stand with me one last time. Geese against swan, ducks against cockatoos in one final stand. Picks up the tiniest duck and puts it on his shoulder. Picks up another tiny duck, puts it on his shoulder. Who's with me to the end? And will turn and begins to charge with the duck and the geese on his shoulder into the wave.
You know what?
What Karina will do is she'll carry her duck like a dog, and like it's like they're fighting in unison together rather than being used as a weapon. They're like a symbiotic, like three-way fucking animalistic death tornado.
Rides runs in like Aragorn in the Battle of the Black Gate, you know, that last look, and runs in with the geese on the shoulder, the two ducks on his shoulder, and starts wading, punching everything he sees.
What? Okay. Okay. Gonna die. So.
Oh, also, Kim, I'm running defense on Bride's penis.
Yeah, no, because that's exactly where the geese are going. They're like, dangly bit, we're gonna fucking bite it. Like it's a sausage.
It's a sacrifice one has to pay for the freedom of the ducks.
Okay. So ducks don't really have they don't have the talons that cockatoos and cockatiels do, so they can't really grip onto his shoulder. So they're just kind of like laughing violently, trying to stay on his shoulder. And it's just a whole bunch of like crazy as they're just kind of being all over the place, and eventually when they as you know, Rides is just fucking punching geese necks. Jesus. The ducks will fall off. Ducks are such fucking sweethearts. They're not really participating in the fighting. They're kind of hiding underneath the cockatoos, and the cockatoos are just like, my tiny children, my tiny babies, and they're just kind of like sitting on these ducks. But anytime the geese get close, they just like, the cockatoos are fucking vicious, right? So the cockatoos will just like flap at them with their wings or like bite them. Oh my god, you get bit by a cockatoo, you lost a fucking chunk of skin, buddy. So the cockatiels and the macaws, they're kind of guarding the ducks. The cockatiels, though, the younger, tinier versions of cockatoos. Funny enough, you can actually crossbreed a gala cockatoo and a cockatiel, and you get like a really odd, adorable morph. Fun fact of the day. Because I've been obsessed with birds for like the past several months. But anyway, so.
Oh, question. Do I get my geese rib?
You know what? Yes. You fucking get your geese rib. You get your fucking goose rib.
Oh no, I mean as like a dagger to stab other geese with.
And you get it. You have it.
Bitchin'.
You crazy fucking beautiful man. So the cockatiels are just attacking along with you guys, and they're fucking vicious too, because they're biting and hissing right along with the geese, and the geese are like, brother. Actually, Karina can hear this. The geese are like, brothers, you hiss as well. Why do you attack us when we attack these non-hissers? And the cockatiels are just like, and just going fucking insane.
Rides is shouting, "Bring me your king!" As he like fucking suplexes a fucking geese. You know what I mean? Running around the place. Like, that's me.
Karina casually picks up one of the geese by the neck, cracks their skull open with her teeth, and just fucking throws it to the side.
fuck?
And as the battle rains on, notably, one thing Aelin noticed as well, face palming through her entire skull. The cockatoos, the cockatiels, the ducks, they have one disadvantage, one thing that the geese have, and that's size. So, using her cunning plans, she will spend some glamour. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing now, but she will cause, using her art, a huge gust of wind upwards to uplift the ducks and the cockatiels into the air for an aerial attack. And as she does, she will scream, "Fly, my pretties, fly!"
Okay. So I'm not gonna make you roll. I'm just gonna ask. Do you have Skycraft or Wayfarer?
Skycraft.
Okay, then you're good. Then you can. The cockatiels who could have honestly flied on their own, but we're just kind of chilling on the ground or suddenly all thrown into the air. The ducks are also just kind of thrown in the air, and the ducks are like, "The fuck is going on?" Some of them have kind of like flipped over. They're just like now upside down, doing their best to flip right over. They look like a bunch of morons because ducks honestly are like they're the cutest little morons. Meanwhile, the cockatiels are like, ho, and the fucking you don't even know how. You don't know how, but the dreaming is fucked up in so many ways. Flight of the Valkyries starts blasting through this fucking island as the cockatiels begin to fucking aerial dive bomb the geese.
And as they begin to aerial dive bomb, two of them will land on Aelin's outstretched arms and begin to lift her into the air as well, aided by that Skycraft. She descends on them like a flying god.
Why are we like this? I'm not even fucking worried. You know, that's perfectly fine. So that's all going good and wonderful, and you know, several geese have tried to just viciously bite at Ride's dangling member, to be smacked away or beaten by Karina, or you know,
or just brutally murdered in general.
yes, it's a bloodbath of like feathers and just very sad, like little geese honks as you know they're now dying as their plan goes wrong, and Karina just hears, you know, from the back this loud hiss and retreat back into the waters, and so the geese, they all turn and they start going back. Of course, not perfectly, because you always have some who are like, nah, but fuck the orders though. I'ma do what I want because I'm a boss ass bitch. And so while a good majority of the geese and the swans are like turning and running away, there are some that aren't. And they are still fighting, but they are soon utterly and brutally murdered as, you know, this flying fucking seal just comes down and just like, I don't know, kicks him in the throat. And soon the battle is over. The swan and the geese are slowly, swiftly swimming back out to the deep sea where they were. There's a whole bunch of broken bodies. Some of them are desperately trying to get back into the water. And the thing is that cockatoos will occasionally, well, eat meat. And then the ravens come, as do the kookaburras. Because kookaburras also eat meat, a lot of it. And, you know, of course, everyone knows they're ravens, and, you know, pretty much the big meat-eating birds come out, like the owls and the hawks. And they all just start ascending onto this bloody battlefield. And they start picking off those weak geese who were just barely hanging on to life, and you just hear these sad, sad little honks of as they're, killed and then consumed in front of you guys. Now, kind of fucking terrifying, because, like, the smallest of these birds are still the size of your hand, and those are the parrotlets, and parrotlets are itty bitty little babies. They're not the size of finches, mind you. Parrotlets are a little bit bigger than finches. But the ravens and the hawks and the owls, these guys, they're about 4-5 feet, give or take. And these seem to be the smaller ones because, y'all can kind of interfere by, when the cockatoo was talking earlier and it was like, yeah, we can take you to the big one, like the bigger ones. You're kind of thinking maybe that's more inland. I wonder if the bigger birds are more towards, like, the inside of the island. And that is, excuse me, the end of this battle scene as Karina is all bloodied and fucking insane, and Rides is like, oh, and as his little duck buddies try to get back up on his shoulder, and he's like, he's probably also covered in blood. And then the cockatiels will slowly descend, placing the lady back onto her feet. Meanwhile, the cockatoos are just they're still, one of them, the big one that was chilling with Bambi, is preening her hair currently.
Bambi is moderately traumatized, but at least she's being taken care of. It's fine.
They're trying to be soothing because cockatiels, some of them can be like hella sweet.
Yeah, Bambi accepts this attention and stays the fuck away from all of that. Has pointedly avoided watching the battle for the most part, besides looking to make sure everyone was still moving.
Ride picks up his duck brethren, puts them on his shoulders, and then turns to Karina going, yeah, we won that.
You want to know a valuable lesson that I learned today.
What?
Geese taste fucking disgusting. Spits out some blood.
Now I shall become king of the ducks. He just looks off in the distance, like does the epic pose of hands on his hips and everything.
I'm almost imagining like Star Wars or Tron, where it's just him holding the duck up above his head.
Yeah, pretty much what he does.
Yeah, the princess presents him with a duck, he holds it above his head.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. God damn it.
He turns to look over. I am the hero that these ducks need. Nods sagely, puts the duck back on the shoulder.
Nope, Bambi can't even.
No, I shouldn't go that black dog, Tim. That's a bad idea.
Please don't.
My bad.
I don't even know what you were gonna do, honestly.
It was gonna get bad. No, it was gonna be really bad.
So after we do all this blood and viscera and feathers and like shouting and stuff, Rides just turns to goes to everybody. So what now?
We may want to go more inland. There are bigger birds more inland. Generally. Perhaps their king is inland. Would I be incorrect?
I don't know, he flies around. I like this one. Preens hair some more.
Huddled up all up on this cockatoo, like, yes, be safe. At least it's fluffy.
Puts the duck in front of Karina. Ask him where the king is. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Perhaps if we took to the skies, we might see him. Holds out the arms covered in fucking cockatiels. It's like, look at these.
Yeah, no, the cockatiels are like, finally, someone who can recognize my fucking genius.
You know what? This is a good idea. Lady Aelin, be the seal in the air.
Swim through the skies! I'm done with everything in this scene. I'm fucking
I was
done.
ready for that. I was
And
ready for
as
that.
the cockatiels turn towards Lady Aelin, the stoic pose as she looks towards the sun in the sky, she holds out her arms majestically, almost angelic, feathers falling down in a perfect. And she will use that gust of wind to lift all the cockatiels with herself into the air to see this king.
Please don't get eaten by an eagle.
Don't worry, I have a plan for that.
So, this, by the way, was pretty much the face that all the cockatiels had when they were murdering people. Or murdering the geese, I should say. This was
My children,
much their-
come to me. I am the wind beneath your wings.
God.
Literally.
Yes. Also, Katie, I found the picture.
What?
That's pretty much what the cockatoo was doing to Bambi.
That's legit as fuck.
Just kind of like, burr.
You know what? That's fine. I accept this so much. It's everything I ever needed.
So, you guys begin to head inland. The cockatoos just kind of follow you along. Well, I say the cockatoos. I mean, there's about 3. There was the one that, was just kind of like, this is my child now, who was following Bambi around now, just kind of like, my baby. My tiny little baby. And then there's like 2 others who are just kind of like, well, the ducks are my children, and the ducks are following Rides, this weird naked man with the sausage hanging down. So I guess I'm just gonna follow my babies, the ducks. And the ducks are just waddling in mass behind Rides. Just kind of, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds of ducks. There's like the white ducks. I don't know what they're called. I'm pretty sure they have a term other than just like white ducks. There's mallards. There's, all sorts. It's like beautiful ducklings. Except they're like, to his knees. Actually, no, ducks are a little bit larger than cockatoos. So these they're cockatiel, I should say. So the ducks are about 3.5, 4 feet tall.
The sound of doom as Rides and his horde advance.
As Aelin literally just hovers above them all. It's like, yes, this is my calling. The flying seal.
The seal that took to the air, the seal that defied nature itself.
This fucking scene.
Heir to the throne of cockatiels.
So you guys start heading more. There is one cockatoo that's just kind of like, well, I guess I'll lead you guys, and of course it is the one that was, with Bambi. So pretty much Bambi, what happened was the cockatoo kind of reached down, gently picked up Bambi with a foot, and then somehow, it was very awkward to maneuver around, but they somehow managed to get Bambi on their back. And they are now just leading the group forward, down deeper into this very kind of foresty island. So, the thing with this island is, towards the back it had the giant sequoia trees and, the little beach. And as it starts getting further in, it becomes more like a tropical kind of rainforest. There's a whole bunch more macaws around here. Extinct species of birds. There's some even weird, like, fucking chimerical ones who are just literally shifting rainbow colors right now. Like, they'll just... Yes. It's like...
Yo,
What? What's up?
Is there a pterodactyl here?
It's not dinosaurs. We're
Damn.
not. I know birds come. Pretty
It was working
I know birds are descendants from the dinosaurs themselves. But we're not going into like dinosaur age. I'm talking about like extinct finches and stuff like that.
Welcome to Arcadia.
No, we're not going to Arcadia. No.
Right. Fucking around.
I can't. I had a chance with the far dreaming and it was bad. It actually wasn't that bad. I enjoyed the far dreaming scene. Well, we'll get to Arcadia when we get to Arcadia. We'll just put it that way. I have plans, but very far off plans. So,
And
yes. So, you guys begin to see these weird stick structures as everything, the dense forest begins to clear out. Oh no, did I break it? Oh no, I broke it. Oh. I fixed it. Okay, sorry, I was playing with a toy, and I broke it. It's actually a bird toy. We're not going to talk about that, though. So, you see, honest to God, pigeons just start to poke their head out of these, like, these little buildings, and then a whole bunch of other birds as well. Like, some of the macaws poke their heads out, and they're all just kind of looking. They're like, who these people? Why them? Where are their wings? Where are their feathers? And then some of like the old matronly birds, their feathers, you don't know how, but their feathers have kind of turned gray. And they'll just kind of walk out and they'll look at you guys and they'll like gently start preening you guys. And then after a little bit, they will try to regurgitate in your mouth. Because you know that's what birds do when they love each other and they want to make sure they're fed. So there's this pigeon that just kind of fucking waddles up, looks at Karina, and then it starts going. It kind of tilts its head back and starts like wiggling its neck, and then it like Karina can she knows enough about nature what's about to happen if she don't say something.
You can't refuse
Karina will
hospitality.
say, "Hold on, pigeon man or pigeon woman. I am not your child.
I know.
Why do you feed me then?
Just because you ain't a bird and you ain't my baby doesn't mean I can't feed you. Y'all
Well,
all
actually-
need some food. You're too small.
I more than had my fill earlier. Covered in case blood.
You're so tiny, honey. No.
Kim, is it looking like I'm gonna have to eat this fucking pigeon's throw up to move forward?
No, I'm not about to make you eat fucking pigeon throw.
I mean, if they offer it to Aelin, she's not going to refuse their hospitality. She is a guest.
Aylin's also currently just like fucking flying up in the air right
She
now.
is. She's majestic as fuck at the minute, but still, I'm just making sure that point's out there.
I got you.
Right. Well, I am also a savage. I actually have to think about this, guys.
I mean, Aelin is spurring you on to do it because refusing hospitality is rude. Don't want to be
No,
rude.
I feel like that's because she just some vomit to be able to talk that good shit later.
Oh my gosh.
So ultimately, Karina is going to say, I do thank you, though I very much am full from my last meal. Remembers all the geese she ate. Alive.
She just kind of she nods and she looks a little sad and she takes her little pigeon butt off. Pigeons walk so adorable. I want a pigeon really badly.
Oh, before the pigeon leaves, though, she'll scritch the pigeon and say, "Just because I am small, does not mean that I am weak."
I ain't never said you were weak.
I know. You do not need to worry of me, though I appreciate it.
Okay. No walk off. It's kind of looking, doing the little pigeony thingies. And then Cockatoo will just kind of step forward and look over at the group and say, well, this is as far as I'm going to take you. After this, it gets a little weird. You know what I mean?
Looks at the bloody naked man with the army of ducks. Looks at her naked goat crush. Looks at the flying seal. Looks down at herself and just says, I hope we're prepared for this then.
Over at Rides, the 300 music is playing in the background as he is advancing slowly with the ducks. There you go. That's what's playing as he just advances his arms spread out like, come with me, my children. It's this waddle of ducks behind them.
And you know what the fucking ducks are? They're just like, waddle, 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 waddle. What up, dude? Because they're like, the ducks are kind of feeling themselves. I won't lie. They're like, man, we just had this random dude just like beat the fuck about these. Like, what? So they kind of feeling themselves right now. So the ducks are just totally going along with it. And then the cockatoo will just kind of, you don't know how. You don't really know how at all. But the cockatoo will do its best impression and version of a shrug. And by a shrug, it just kind of lifts its wings up a little bit and lowers them back down. Just kind of like, it will say, well, we're allowed to go further. We try not to. It's further up in the mountains. They get a little weird. They're us, but not us. They're you guys, but not you guys.
Wait.
What?
Are you saying that they are bird people?
I don't know. I just know that they're not us, but they're us. They're like our long-distant cousins. We don't really talk to them too much. We just kind of chill down here and, have a nice little ecosystem.
And they're on the top of that mountain?
Yeah, for the most part. There's different tiers. They have this weird society.
Fate has brought me here today, then.
I don't know if it was fate. You just killed like a whole bunch of like my long distant cousins. So I mean, it was very awkward fate. I'm just saying,
Sorry.
Like I know they're assholes, but like at the end of the day, they were still related to me, kind of, and their bodies are all over the place and they're getting eaten and kind of, I know how it goes. I know the circle of life. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have nightmares, but it'll be okay.
If you ever want to talk about that, there are people that can help you with that.
I'm not a person. There are no people on this island.
There are birds that help you with that, then.
How do you know? You don't know anything about our society.
Wait, I'm sorry, what's the cockatoo say?
It said, how do you know? You don't know anything about our society.
Yeah. Karina has absolutely nothing for this game. I don't even. She is just making shit up as she goes right now. She's just gonna see.
Cockatoo just kind of shakes its head, and then it walks over to Bambi, and it kind of looks at Bambi, and then it looks over at Karina and pretty much just says translate.
She'll nod.
Blink.
And then it looks back to Bambi, and it will kind of wrap her the cockatoo will wrap its arms around, or its wings around Bambi as kind of like a hug, and it'll lean down and like press its very large beak against her head, and it'll just say, "My tiny little featherless baby."
It will translate that.
Oh, she will hug the bird. It is such a nice burb.
And then it will kind of lift its wing up like it's going to preen itself and pluck out one of its feathers, then hand it to Bambi. Now, this is a giant feather, okay?
Oh god.
Like when I'm saying giant feather, I mean it's light, as a feather. But given this is a 13, foot tall bird, and their wings, their feathers are pretty fucking big.
I was gonna say those like primaries, secondaries are probably still almost as long as Bambi is tall.
Yeah, nah, it's a good like 6-7 foot of feather.
It's literally longer than she is tall.
Yes, but it's really light. It doesn't seem as fragile as you'd expect, though.
She'll be very surprised, and we'll take it, and we'll glance over to Karina, then look up at the bird, and reach up and scratch it again, and say, "Thank you very much for taking care of me."
It'll just it'll nod, and it'll say, "Well, you'll return soon enough."
Okay. Because that didn't sound foreboding at all.
Hold on. So, the cockatoo will then move, and as do all the birds, except for the ducks. And except for the ones that are currently flying the seal around. They're still chilling on the lady. I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Aelin.
I'm tired. Aelin. Oh, it's like the fucking house.
Yes.
It is the house.
No shame.
I'm 97% sure I caught that during character creation and just didn't give a fuck. Never remember. But anyway, so they're still there, and the ducks are still just waddling behind Rides because the ducks are like, "Our king." Yes. So, guys, it's like a giant. Okay, so like when you see pictures of like super fucking long staircases to get to like monasteries, right, on the sides of mountains and shit. That's pretty much what's going on right now. It's just a really large staircase that's going up this mountain, kind of zigzagging along the inside of the mountainside. It looks really unused because everyone here is a fucking bird, so they all have wings. Except for you guys. Gonna have to take the stairs. And then that kind of makes you curious, like, if this is an island full of birds, why I got a whole staircase though? If this is full of birds, like, what would they need a staircase for?
So the bird people can ascend this ladder to heaven.
Bird people have wings too, though.
I may not be able to use them as efficiently.
You never know. You never know. And you guys begin. With the ducks following behind. It's a mass. All you see is ducks and ducks and ducks. You don't know what the hell you're gonna do with all of these ducks, but there's so many ducks. And the noise that they make is insane because it's just quack, 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 quack all the time. Karina can hear what they're saying. It's a whole bunch of fucking nonsense. Like, hey, how you doing, Phil? Oh, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Bob? Yeah, yeah. How you? It's a good day, huh? Yeah. Well, what's that over there? So why are we following this dude? Oh, I don't know. I'm just following the back. Yeah, what's going on? It's Gucci. Yeah. It's just a whole bunch of fucking nonsense from the ducks.
How do birds know what Gucci is? Could you say that out loud? So no one knows, but that just kind of came out of left field. Like, yeah.
You never know. You never know. And you guys just keep walking. Just keep going on and on and on and on. Until you guys hear a swoop of air kind of rush overhead. A whoosh. Oh my god, I just realized I have queso. Oh yeah, boys!
When you say queso, do you mean cheese?
Yes! I mean, like, I got
Sippy
this
cheese.
from fucking Moe's today. Bless. Oh. Sorry. I got munchies all of a sudden. I don't know why. Yes, your cockatiel dive bombers, most of them kind of flew off. You have about 4, and those are the ones that are flying you around currently.
Beautiful. My aces are at my side.
Yes. So they're still there, and that's it's going along. It's it's like a okay, cool. I don't really know what's going on, but you're going. And then there's a swoop, like a bird going over your head. You guys are like, whatever. Except, man, that leaves a pretty fucking large shadow. It's kind of a little concerning. And then, landing in front of you is what I can only describe as pretty much what happens if a human and like a fucking raptor bird had a baby. It's standing on 2 legs, but they're pretty much bird feet. The 4 talons with wickedly sharp-looking talons, on each end that proceed to, to this kind of mottled brown feather plumage. These bitches got armor on. I say these bitches, but it's just one bitch. Just a single bitch. This bitch got armor, like nice looking, you don't know how, leather armor on with like studs of metal and shit. And it's got no swords or anything, but they have talons as well and wings separately. It's not like the Arakoa from World of Warcraft where you got the wings on the arms. Nah, they got a whole different separate set of wings. And then its face is, all falcony and like a beak and shit, and it's looking at you guys and it's like, hey, what up? Doesn't actually say, hey, what up? But it's like looking at you guys with an intense falcony kind of stare, like, hello there, my future prey, if you do not answer my questions correctly.
Oh, that stare gives a lot away. Shit.
And it's on the talons that are on its fingers. It's got metal kind of extendages. Like if you've ever seen the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, it's got pretty much like the metal claws over their claws, because like I'm gonna really fuck you up today though. And it just kind of looks at you guys, silently waiting. It looks, like just a falcon, like a raptor fucking Jesus, just looking at you guys. Doesn't say anything. Hello.
Oh. Okay. Karina's gonna look to the left, look to the right, make sure it's cool to everybody that if Karina takes a couple of steps forward. And she's gonna say, my name is Karina Stormfury. I am a Baroness, House of Sand. And me and my friends come here to complete a task. Very important task. Require. Oh, sorry.
Oh, my bad. I thought you was on. My bad. You continue.
I wasn't sure because I wasn't sure if it was gonna cut me off or what, but I mean, she's gonna lay all her cards out. Fuck it. She's gonna be like, we have come here to acquire feather touch wood. Did you not hear that?
I did. I was munching. I didn't want to be like smack tortilla chip all up in your ear. I wasn't about to be like Nikki and just chewing up. I don't know what it is with her. She don't know how to shut her mouth when she's eating. But anyway, so it says nothing and just kind of looks at you. It takes a moment and it will clear its throat. And in a very kind of raspy voice, it will say, leave.
I am sorry. Our quest does not permit us to turn away so easily. If we offended,
We have lasted long. I know one of y'all bitches ain't awake. Nah, go back to sleep, you little fucktard. Sorry. It will say, we have lasted here for centuries upon centuries without any of your kind stepping foot. We see the destruction that you lay behind you, and we do not want that ever to enter into our lands.
it is not my wish, nor my desire or need to say. All that I require is one item, and I'm willing to trade for this item.
My chip. It will. It's obvious, well, her voice sounds kind of feminine, That's all you can really get because it's bird people. I'm not about to be that bitch and put some fucking titties on a bird. Not saying anything against you if you do. I'm gonna just be a little more anatomically. I can't even fucking speak tonight.
Anatomically correct.
Yes, that. So there are no titties, but it sounds like a woman-ish between the screeches. And she'll say, "It is not me or my kind who barter and trade. Follow me. I will lead you to those who will give you an answer. And without anything more, they will turn on their fucking talon and just walk off."
Karina will start walking with them, with her. Fuck it.
Clippity clippity.
Yes.
Aelin will hover after.
They'll take a few
Big bad.
steps. Oh, yeah. They'll take a few steps, and then they'll just kind of stop. They'll look directly at Rides and say, "Leave the ducks."
There's that moment where he's like, takes a breath, will turn, looks at Karina, translate this, they're going to need to hear this.
Nods.
And will stands, hands on hips before the entire horde of ducks. Will say, "My children! I must go on this path alone. For to bring you glory.
Alone with three other people.
Foundation. Yeah. If Bambi actually says that, he would turn. Do not interrupt when I'm monologuing, Bambi. Suddenly turns very serious. Don't interrupt while I'm monologuing.
I was out of character.
I must go on this journey alone. To bring you glory, I must face the trials and tribulations of that of the mountain. But I cannot do this without you. But you will wait. You may wait for me at the bottom, and I will bring you a new empire of ducks." Just nods to himself and turns and keeps walking.
The ducks all just kind of like look around at each other. They're like, quack, quack. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? Karina can hear him just kind of saying, "What's an empire? Where are we supposed to go? What, dude?"
Oh, they look sad.
They look so lost. But they don't.
So with a heavy heart, and a heavy soul, the king of the ducks advances.
Abandons his people at the gates.
Damn.
A dark day in the Duconian Empire. Also, did he say anything about my elite squad of cockatiels, or do I just gonna carry on hovering around?
Considering that's only about 4 cockatiels versus the fucking 300 number of ducks. They're not worried. They're less worried about 4 cockatiels versus
The whole
300 ducks.
Of course,
Want them
these
with him?
things understand the true power of the Duconian Empire.
I'm really tempted to ask him to have my duck bodyguard, which is like 10 ducks. Follow me, but no, I'll keep going.
If you want to ask, that's up to you.
Go on. Fuck
Oh my
it.
God.
Yeah, he'll ask him, "Can I have my elite duck bodyguards?" And he points to the 10 ducks in the front line who've been with him since the very start of this whole fucking frenzy train.
They'll stop again, and they'll do that weird fucking bird thing. Their body is forward, but their head will go as it turns 180 to kind of stare intensely. at Rides, it will look down at the ducks. These ducks are like 3.5 feet tall. I mean, they're just fucking ducks. And they will go, that is agreeable. As long as they do not get in the way.
Oh God.
Dramatic turn gets Karina to translate. My children, I need 10 of your bravest men. You know what I mean? He just echoes around as all the ducks waddle up and he picks them on the shoulders, carrying them in like a bundle.
Wait, did Bride say 2 of his 10 of the best men?
Yeah, 10 of the best men.
Oh my God, Karina's like, they're not gonna understand what the fuck that means.
That's why it's a translation.
Yeah, no. Even if Karina translate, they may not understand what best in this context means.
That's why you're translating. Choose
Yeah,
your
no.
words widely.
Karina might say, are they confused on the context of best in this case?
They're just kind of looking around like, I have the best plumage. I have the best quack. I have the best food. And they're just kind of like looking around at each other like, I don't fucking know.
Karina's gonna pick 10. We gonna be here for fucking ever if we let him speak.
Picks one from the back, so it takes like 5 minutes to walk all the way up.
So, y'all remember from Toy Story? Ooh, we're chosen. You know, when they would pick the little alien buddies out. So when Karina goes just picking up these fucking ducks when she chooses them, they're like, "We have been chosen." Ducks just fucking say.
And so the king leaves with his personal bodyguard of elite warriors up the mountain.
It's fucking ducks. Yeah. Him and his elite duck squadron. They will go along. And the further into this mountain that everyone gets, the more and more odd it starts to look. It starts to look kind of like, you know, from movies, kind of like when you walk into that really misty village where the houses are kind of hidden away and you can't really even see them, but you can see faces poking out. Well, the faces at this point are birds. You see, oddly enough, like pigeons, like these weird pigeon people morphs, kind of looking out with all their fancy plumage. And if you guys have never seen a fancy pigeon, I highly 10 out of 10 would recommend Googling the, you know, image fancy pigeons, because they look like they've been divorced and got like all the money. Because like, oh Jesus Christ, fucking fancy pigeons.
Holy shit.
Right?
What the f...
What are you looking up?
Fancy pigeons.
Look, I'll put it up here. Like, look at these guys. Damn.
Yes, some of them
Oh,
look like they have
Jesus.
been divorced.
Fuck. I was just dropping the kids off at like fucking football practice or some shit.
Yes. So, you know, you have birds like that kind of looking out, and you have, oh, what are some others? You have like doves as well, just kind of peeking their heads out. You know, you know, they're all hidden up in like the treetops, but you know, they're doing their own little thing going on. And they just keep leading you and leading you, and you know, until eventually they stop. We will say, "Stay here for a moment. You cannot progress any farther without permission."
Understood.
And then they will fly off. When they leave, a couple of the younger, like you can assume they're kids, because they're their feathers haven't really come in, and they're kind of tiny. They just like they look kind of like fluffy, like owlets, just pigeon. So they have a whole bunch of pin feathers. They look stupidly cute. If you've ever seen a bird with like their pin feathers, and they'll just kind of walk up and just kind of look at you guys like, "Woo!"
Blink, blink.
Hello there. Wait, are they pigeon people or just pigeons?
They're pigeon people. They're just kind of they're pigeon people babies, I should say, and they're just kind of looking, and they're like, "Hello."
How do you do today?
Why are you here?
At first, I didn't know. Now I do.
What are you?
Corinne has to think about that. Like, genuinely has to think about that.
Maybe we'll crouch down the level.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, whichever one happens to be closest to her, and we'll crouch down to its level and just be like, I'm a satyr.
What's that?
She shrugs. It's what I am. What are you?
I am me.
Good answer.
I am she.
Oh, God.
What's that? And then they kind of stop. And you hear this weird kind of cooing language kind of coming from one of the other pigeons beside them. The pigeon people. One of the other little kids beside them. They'll just kind of coo softly. And they'll look at each other. And they just have this like little cooing language. Which it's actually a language. It's not just like nature child in a house spoon's not gonna work for this one because it's like a language and it's weird.
Yeah, I was gathering. It's all good.
They'll just kind of coo. And then the cooing becomes slightly more distressed. The one nearest Karina when, she said, "Oh, I'm a she." It becomes slightly distressed, like, coo, coo, coo.
Backs up.
It's okay.
And then the little pigeon people babies kind of crowd around each other and they look up with like kind of wide eyes. It's like, you're not gonna hurt us, are you?
No.
No, of course not.
We've heard about the she. We've heard a lot about the she.
I cannot speak for my entire people. I can only speak for myself. There we go. I'm back. Yeah.
We're not here
Yeah,
to
we're-
hurt anyone.
Yeah. I can only speak for myself. I would not pick up arms or inflict any kind of violence on anyone that has offered me the hospitality. And especially not visit anything like that upon those that are not able to defend themselves.
That's what they said the first time too.
No. Ryan's in the background rubbing his ear like, oh shit.
We won't hurt you.
I don't know what else to say. All that I can do is avoid falling into the same traps that my predecessors did. Think about it this way, practically. if I did do anything, your powerful warriors would likely take my head off without a second thought.
But there are always more of you. And if one can find us, you all can.
Honestly, I do not know how I found you. I didn't mean to find you this night. I simply woke up here.
They still don't seem too terribly convinced. And by this time, big Falco person has they have returned, and the look. They don't coo like the little pigeons. Instead, it's a screech that they kind of do. And they'll kind of look at the kids and just. It's Falcon, so it's more high pitched and like. But I'm not about to fucking try to mimic fucking bird screeches today. Not today. And they quickly kind of flutter, walk off. They don't really have their wings, the feathers in their wings yet, so they kind of flutter their wings like they're trying to fly, and they run off, looking a little scared. It's like when you get caught doing something you ain't supposed to, and you're like, ah, shit, dude. Gotta fucking go.
Cheese it.
Run! Run. And so she'll look back, and look over each of you. So, come along. The elders will wish to see you now.
Very well.
And you guys are led up into a rather big mountainous area. It looks... how to put it? It's like a really big-ass tree house. Like, it's like somebody took a castle and they kind of birdified it, and then they put it on top of a tree. And by tree, I mean, like, trees. It's like treesus here. And they will kind of lead you up. For some reason, it also has a staircase. We're just going to leave that there. And inside is a kind of... It's a table. And resting around the table is this really, really old-looking barn owl dude. This really, really, really old pigeon. A really, really, really old dove person. And a really, really old-looking kind of falcon person. Well, hawk. Bird of prey, put it. And they're all just kind of sitting at this table. They're talking, going over each of their own little things, and then they kind of stop when Falco young person walks in with you guys, and it's just kind of like when you walk into a building and the music it just stops playing with a screech. It's like, that's how y'all know y'all done rolled up into a building. I'll just kind of look over, and the owl will stand up, and he will say, "Ah, I see you've arrived."
Who is he speaking to out of character?
Just all of y'all in general. His eyes look pretty clouded over, so it's kind of clear that he's not looking at any of you guys in particular, because his eyesight's pretty fucked up, because it's an old owl.
I mean, Karina will respond with, "Were we expected?"
Just kind of a glance back. Thank you for seeing us.
They will kind of nod in Bambi's general direction, and they'll kind of glance over in Karina's general direction and say, "We assumed you were coming when we heard the geese and our scouts began to fly in with reports of a battle.
If it helps, they did attack us.
We do not concern ourselves with our cousins, shall we say. They are able to rule themselves without our guidance. What they do is their own. What brings you all here?
Luck, I think. Kind of glances back to Karina to see if she's getting especially agitated.
Nope, she's not getting agitated.
Okay, sweet. We woke up here by chance, but we very much need something that you have to help a bunch of people who are ill. And while we were here, it seemed wise to come and ask if we could collect such a thing from you. And ask if maybe you could tell us how to get home.
I see. I see. And if we were to say no to this request,
It would. She shrugs. I would beg.
We would not beg. We would accept your request and go home. There is no need for begging. I had to put a hand on Batman's shoulder, quite firm in that statement, because no, I'm not going to beg. If you say no, you say no. It's that type of attitude.
She kind of looks back. And I mean, it's the usual kind of big-eyed look. There's so many people.
We'll find another way. We don't beg.
I can sacrifice my pride.
It's nothing to do with pride.
If they speak for themselves for this, I'll speak for myself. I honestly don't know what I would do. You were to pointedly say no. The only thing I do know is that I watch the people that I promised to protect fall ill to a plague that I can do nothing to control. My Lord Elder, if you know what I am, then I can only believe you know what it feels like to not have a problem that I can't just fight or solve through any direct means. It seems that I have been faced with very many of those problems lately.
I see. I see. And what is it that you wish for again?
Glance back to Karina. Feather what?
Okay. Just some feather-touched wood would be enough to create a two-handed warhammer.
I see. And in return?
have heard many of your people have fears, not of my compatriots, of me specifically. I frankly understand these fears, and they are afraid of what would happen if I were to bring information of this place back. If it is possible, I would be more than happy for you to rip the memories of this experience from my head. That way I cannot tell anyone where you are, what you are, who you are.
We do not do that sort of magic. That is for... But he cuts off for a moment. And he frowns a little bit in his little owly way. Says, "No. Unlike the She, we do not rip things from people. We do not harm, or at least we try not to."
Oh, sorry, I lagged out. Unlike the
no.
sheep way.
Yeah, he pretty much said, unlike the She, we do not rip things away from people. To which old Falcon chick in the back just kind of and says, "Speak for yourself, old man." And they turn around and they have a little conversation in their like fucking bird tongue, like, "Shut your bitch ass up, Kathy." It's like, "Nah, you first, Tom."
I'm gonna bring me into this like that, God.
Cause, okay, actually, mainly because I am super excited, and I won't lie, I've done a lot of thinking on these bird people in my spare time since like I first introduced them months ago. So if you guys want to roll in remembrance and get successes, I will love you forever. So I can explain this.
I have some of that.
Whoa!
What do I do?
I'll just roll int remembrance. If you don't have int remembrance, int dreaming at a difficulty 7 will also work.
I've got 2 successes on int remembrance.
Dreaming? That's a stat?
Dreaming lore.
Oh. You did not assign me any lores.
Oh shit!
Okay. Then you'll have, usually for base, if they don't really add anything extra in their backstory, it's usually 2 changeling. You'd have 2 satyr. You didn't come into a house with character creation, so you wouldn't have any house lore. And then you'd have a dot of changing lore. That's usually just like the basic fucking lores I give out.
Was the last one meant to be dreaming or?
Dreaming, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'll take a shot.
So you'd have at least one dot.
Got 1 whole success.
Okay. Those are. Yeah, I'm just, as long as y'all got 1 success, because I won't lie, I'm kind of excited about these guys.
Gosh.
Do it.
You really don't want me to gush. I could go on. So you can kind of get. They're all wearing different kind of clothings. They all look, from what you guys know about these different types of birds, they're all very specific in their own kind of natures. The owls are typically more associated with wisdom. And so you got this kind of old, wizened owl dude in what looks to be, scribe's robes. He also seems to be kind of like the forefront leader. The falcon lady that y'all spoke to was, Falcon Lady. And old bitch-ass Kathy over there, who's actually not named old bitch-ass Kathy, is also very elderly falcon, bird of prey woman. So, and of course the falcons and the birds of prey are more associated, with birds that just go and fucking, eat, anything they can catch, like the lesser ones. I mean, so do owls, but we're not going to talk about this because this society is very lovely. And then you have the pigeons. And man, pigeons are the most... They are honestly like a really pretty bird if you ever like truly look at them. Sure, a lot of people are like, fuck your pigeons though. They're pigeons. They're, stupid birds. No, most of the pigeons that are out today were let loose when people stopped fucking using them to deliver messages. Most of the pigeons that are out there are domesticated. Funny enough, they don't actually carry all that many diseases either. And people still treat them like trash, and people are just trash in general. It's all good though. But you can kind of assume though, in what you dreaming lore, and the way that the pigeon is dressed, because they all look all fancy and shit too. They're wearing, they're wearing what you'd expect a shop trader to wear. They're wearing like jewelry, kind of merchant style clothes. And they a pigeon. Looking cool as fuck. And then you have the doves. And, you have like mourning doves and everything. They're associated with like love and shit like that. And they're wearing almost a priestly kind of set of robes as well. And then, all y'all kind of stop and think, or if you at least got one success, you kind of stop and think. When an owl was talking, he kind of trailed off when he said, we don't do that kind of thing when Karina was talking about, memory ripping magics. And then y'all realize, we have most of the big kind of birds that really symbolize stuff. You got the owls, you got the pigeons, you got the doves, you got falcons. Where are the ravens? Well, the vultures aren't here because they're vultures have a very special thing. They're usually just the scavengers, so they don't really show up in council meetings. They're pretty much like the ratkin of the fucking bird universe. Here, anyway, in this bird society. But the ravens and the crows aren't found around here. So, with the two successes, you can if you got two successes, you can assume. He was probably trailing off because, of course, the fucking ravens and crows would probably be doing the black magic of the bird society. It's all good, though. It's all good.
I mean, Karina's just going to ask if there were some amongst you that were capable of such magic. Would this be an acceptable deal?
No. We do not. That is not our society.
Do not.
Is there any kind of vow we could make not to tell anyone of what we have seen or how we got here or how we return home? Could that be enough?
That is possible.
I would be more than willing to make that vow.
But you are not the only one who is here.
Well, she glances back to the others.
I will take it. No questions asked.
Looks to Lady House.
Lady House.
Yep. Nah, congratulations. That's your new nickname.
I was genuinely confused. Like, what the who?
Lady
Okay.
House and then Tomb Raider.
She descends from her aerial position, floating down angelically, feet touching the floor almost perfectly, and she bows. Not a word.
Hopeful look at rides.
Oh, I'm not going to say shit, don't worry. That's his duck.
With the fucking penis still out.
Yep. Completely naked. covered in blood and feathers, with ducks on his shoulders. I'm not gonna say shit. You got no problem to fear from me? That's his duck.
The duck's like,
Right.
And two of the doves, they look to be a little bit younger. Their molting really hasn't come in all the way. They'll walk in, and for those of you who are naked, they'll pretty much hand you robes. Like, please, for the love of God.
thank you so much.
Rides. Wears it like a toga. Like, yeah, like still exposing the chest there, so it's just around his waist. Like, yes, gaze.
Maybe thankfully
Otherwise,
takes the clothes.
Of course, there are big slits in the back for their wings and everything, but I mean, it's better than nothing. Them dangly parts aren't all like dangly, or in the case of others, they're not bouncing very clearly. No, the wizened old owl will nod slightly, just kind of like, "Aight, okay, I can get with that." I'll say, "That is fine then. We will give you some of the wood, and you will make an oath that you would tell no one of our home, of us. We've lived in peace for too long. We are still slowly regaining our numbers."
Ernest nodding.
Yep, Karina nods too.
Yep.
Shall we do it now then?
Yeah.
I swear by the moonlight on my soul, the sun on my body, and my own hands that I use to survive. I will speak nothing of this place. I will breathe not a word of it to anyone. I will not tell them how I got here, how I left, or what transpired. My silence is my bond. Sorry, I was trying to be poetic with that shit. Is that good enough?
Yeah. And they'll kind of look to the next person. Should be Bambi.
Darn it, I was writing an artful thing too.
Hey, the winning person is okay. Easy for you.
I too vow that I will speak to no other of what I have seen here, of your people, your home, of your ways. I swear it. On my heart, on my voice, on my sight. I will tell no other.
And they just kind of nod. And look to the next person, Lady House.
God damn it.
Hey,
What?
should have known what you were getting yourself into.
I didn't. I chose a random name that looked cool, alright? Anyway. She dips the head. I swear by the salt of the sea and the sky that touches it, not a word shall pass my lips of this place.
And then to rides.
May every drink that touches my lips, word that sings my praise, fire that fills my muscles, ache and burn with disgust. May the grace of my heart hate and scorn me should I ever speak of the things that I have seen and hear in this place.
They nod approvingly. Around everyone, there is a swirling mass as the winds kind of pick up and feathers and dust kind of fly and fly and fly and fly around. And then there is a almost like a breaking of glass, as it is sealed and bound. And then the dust settles peacefully onto the floor. There's a little chirp chirp from the owl. Just like a chirp chirp chirp. And a pigeon will kind of make their way out, just like, hey, I'm a pigeon. Hey, hey, I look cool. Hey, my feathers looking fancy. It's kind of like majestic metallic purple on a pigeon. Bet you ain't never seen that. And then we'll walk up, carrying a box. Very pretty box. It's very ornately designed, with, feathers and things of that nature. They will open it, and inside is this very, I don't want to say odd-looking wood. It's very, very lightly colored wood, kind of like a nice tan. There's doesn't really seem to be any bark on it or anything, and they're in about 1 foot. Well, they're cut in like 1 foot sections, just kind of put into the box, and there's about 5 of them. And when they will offer the whole box to you, to just kind of like whoever. They're just kind of like, here, take this. I'm too fucking fabulous to deal with y'all weird people who don't got feathers. So it's just like whoever grabs the box first.
Sure, I'll
Is
take
no
that
one
shit.
taking things? Oh,
I'll take
is it?
that shit.
Alright, cool.
Sweet. So when you pick it up, you'd think, man, this should probably weigh a little bit more with how much like wood and shit was in there. And then you're like, oh shit, son, that's feather touch wood. I mean, would assume it probably wouldn't weigh much. Bamboozled again.
Oh. Bamboozled.
Bamboozled again, boys. And it's nice. Then they will nod and kind of look at you guys and say, okay. Now, you said you required some assistance in returning to your homes?
Yes.
Yes. Clasp your hands together. All of you at once, like a circle. Thank you.
I'm holding the box.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Cuddle up close, ladies. Let's go. Come on. Puts his arm around Lady Allen and Bambi and squeezes in between Karina, essentially. Come on. Treat it like an orgy. Let's go.
The owls just
Of
kind
everyone.
of like, oh man, this would have been. I kind of regret saying that they got clothes now, because that would have been so awkward. And he said that without any clothes on.
I mean, he's like fucking shirtless, so like whoever's right in the middle gets all that fucking ginger chest hair right in their face.
Probably Ellen because she's holding the box.
Yeah.
Have fun. Especially, it's y'all's problem
I am
now.
of House Fear, and I show no fear.
I mean, look, you could say that, but
I show no fear.
God damn it, Tom.
you just have like clerk and chest hair all up in your face. They're probably not smelling too great too, because they just woke up and it's all matted with blood and shit.
Oh, there's blood in it. Oh, no fear. But continue.
And so they nod and will don't really say anything in a language that y'all understand. It's a lot of chirping bird noises like caw, bitches. Bye. I don't actually do that. They're polite, unlike me, who is not polite. And when you next appear, you are just kind of plopped in the middle of the okay, so there's about a mile, give or take, between the changeling, well, half a mile between the changeling market and the forest and the dreaming. Y'all are plopped like right in the middle of that clearing. They use it for like big festivals and shit. Oh, by the way, you're also surrounded by about 290 ducks.
Ha! My people.
Oh my god. Wait, does that mean the cockatiels came?
Yes, the 4 cockatiels are also there.
Yeah.
Cockatiels are there. The cockatoo is there,
What?
and Karina. There is a very angry looking goose by Karina.
I'm not gonna lie. If I turn around after coming in, it's like, oh, look at all the ducks. Oh, it's the cockatoo. Oh, sweet Jesus! Like, man.
Serena, except the geese, at the goose. You want to come with me then?
Just glaring hatefully at Karina.
Stares back. I don't care what you do. But are you coming with me? Yes or no?
Just hisses.
I will take that as a yes.
Edges back into cockatoo fluff. Ugh.
Lady Aelin. What we acquired was something quite important. I don't know if you know the task that was laid out before us, but we must deliver that box.
She nods. As to where?
Words.
Ooh. Try again?
Oh, my bad. Shall we all do it together then?
Looks at the army of ducks.
Yes. Yes. Right, just standing there, arms spread out.
I think Detangel might have an aneurysm, but on the other hand, it might be kind of entertaining to see his reaction.
Now we shall have Womble versus Duck. Glorious.
Right.
My army needs training, Bambi. He pats her on the head.
Frowny face. Resigned frowny face.
I mean, looks at Karina. You can go visit the big idiot up in his house. I'm going to take these back to the kingdom.
If you need help training those, I can help you out.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to have a raiding party by the time we're going on our next one. Just nod sagely.
Thumbs up.
Ducks.
So funny.
Spread his arms. Come, my children. We are going to the caravan. walks arms spread.
That's
You
where
know,
they're gonna go. Trotting along behind him, like they're not all gonna fit.
Don't you worry, Bambi. We'll park near a lake.
Oh dear. So they just kind of waddle along, and that's where we shall end this very interesting scene that I had no idea was gonna fucking happen. It's long. Thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. This has been another scene in Changeling.